Hello there, welcome to Speak English with Ed. Today we're going to answer a question that I was asked. What is the difference between is and it? They're two very similar sounding words. They're both made up with two letters. The first one is I on both of the words. So what is the actual difference? What do they mean? How do you use them? That's what we're going to be looking at today. And stay to the end, remember, because we'll also look at what its is. Now, its is a different word. So let's have a look. So is the verb to be. It's a conjugation of the verb to be. As we know, the verb to be takes many forms. It comes in is, am, and are when we're talking about these circumstances. It comes in other ways as well, but we'll think about it of is, am, and are for the way that we're talking about today. So be is the base form, right? And it means a state of being. So you can be cold, you can be hot, you can be wet, you can be happy, you can be at work. It's a state of being, whatever it is you're talking about, whether it's you, whether it's somebody else, or whether it's something else, has a state of being. It can be still. It can be he is happy. Whatever, it's a state of being. So many years ago, before we started using conjugations, people used to use be all the time. They didn't have all these little bits that we've got now, and they just used be all the time. In some places of the UK, it's still like that. There are still people in the UK who use be all the time. I know I worked for a while down in the southwest of England, and they use it a lot down there as well. They'll just say be instead of is, am, or are. Let me give you an example. He be at work. She be cold, using be instead of is. Or let's say, that be a big tree, or that tree be big. Instead of saying is, that is a big tree, that be a big tree. And it means exactly the same. We've just, nowadays, we conjugate it for different circumstances. And being, it said it was a state of being. Being is a present participle, right? And present means right now, as we're talking. So it is means it is now, or it is true now. If you're not sure about the present participle, I'll put a link in the description below that you can go and check out a video that we did a little bit earlier about a present participle. So be is going to change depending on the subject of your sentence. He, she, and it are all third person singular pronoun subjects, and is the verb, the be verb, that is used with these subjects. We say he is, she is, and it is, which brings us nicely into the next word, it. It is a third person singular pronoun used with objects. Now, third person is not the speaker, and he's the first person. It's not the person being spoken to, because he's the second person. So it's everybody and everything else. That's the third person. So even though we say third person, it can be an object. Bear that in mind. Now, we said it is a pronoun, and pronouns are used to replace people's names and objects, and proper nouns, when it's already been explained what that is. You don't just say it without saying what it is. So you can say, look at that tree, it's very big, but you wouldn't say it's very big without explaining what you're talking about in the first place. So that's the purpose of a pronoun. You can say, it's a nice car. it can be used to is describing the car. Or it was a delicious meal. Now you're talking about a meal. It's a subject you've already established. You're talking about the meal. So you can say it was a delicious meal. Or it is a wet and cold day. Often you'll talk about, oh, it's cold today, because you know that you're talking about your weather. It's understood that you're talking about the weather. You could be looking at a tiger and you say, it's a fearsome tiger. It's scary, it's a fearsome tiger. It is a pronoun. It's used to describe objects and things. Now, animals can be described as an object as well. You don't have to describe an animal. You can use its name, you can use its pronoun, say the tiger is a fearsome tiger. But once you've established that you're talking about a tiger, next time you would say it, a pronoun. Check out, I'll put a link to a video about pronouns down in the description below this video as well. So it is a pronoun, and is the verb to be. So when we get them together, we're talking about it is, right? It is, we're talking about it, the subject that we know about, and is its state of being. But quite often we contract that down into its, it, with a little apostrophe s, and it replaces it is. It's it and is joined together to make one smaller word. And the way we do this is we take the two words, we remove the I, take the I from the is, the second I, so we keep it in it, but we take it away from is, and we replace that with an apostrophe, and then we bring the two together just to make one smaller word. Instead of saying it is, we say it's. It's easy to say, it flows better, it makes your conversation flow better, and what have you. Usually we write it is, but when we speak we say it's. Now, often in informal writing you can write it's, it apostrophe s, right? So it's equals it is, and it's a contraction of it and is, the two words joined together. So that brings us to another one, which is it's, right? It's, right? It's all one word, is this. It's not a shortened one, it's not a contraction. Do you know what the difference is between it's and it's? It's with an apostrophe and it's without an apostrophe. The difference is, as we've just learned, it's with an apostrophe is a contraction of it is. So it can be used in sentences like, it's a bright red car, meaning it is a bright red car. Or you can say, oh, it's a bright red colour, meaning the colour is bright red. So we're talking about the colour in this case, right? But you can replace it is and it has with its, right? So it's without an apostrophe. Do you know what that means? Well, when we say it like this, it's what we call a possessive determiner. It means belonging to. So when we say it's without the apostrophe, we mean belonging to or associated with something. So we would say, I was surprised by its size. So I can say of the tiger, oh, I was surprised by its size, they're so big. I was surprised by its size. I'm talking about the size of the tiger. And in this case, we do not use an apostrophe at all. It's just a single word in its own right. And this is a possessive determiner. It's without a possessive determiner means it is. And it's a contraction of a pronoun it and a verb to be is. But it's without an apostrophe is just it's, and that it's a word in its own, and it means belonging to. I can talk. I've got a mouse here. I can talk about its wheel. right? The wheel belonging to the mouse. It means possessive or belonging to. I can talk about its colour. The colour of the mouse, it is bright red. Well, this one's black, but its colour is a bright red. So we're talking about something that is associated or belonging to the subject that you're talking about. So it's, just to summarise it, it is a contraction of it and it is a possessive determiner. It's called a possessive determiner. So if we want to summarise, is a conjugation of the verb to be. That means it's changed for a different circumstance to suit a different pronoun. So it's changed, right? Is a third person singular pronoun. Third person is not the speaker, not the person that's listening, but everything or everything else. It, the mouse. I'm talking about the mouse. I'm not talking to it, so I'm talking about it. It's with an apostrophe is a contraction of it is, right? We're talking about now joining two words together. It means two words together. Whenever you see a word with an apostrophe in like that, it's either going to mean it's possessive or it's two words joined together, depending where it is and what you're talking about. And it's without an apostrophe is a possessive determiner, and it means that something is belonging to something or associated with something. I hope that explains or helps you understand the difference, if you've been struggling or you're not quite sure, the difference between the two. A lot of it is with the person that asked me the question was listening to the difference. Did you say it or did you say is? They ask that question because they're two very similar sounding words, and that's the difference. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got some benefit out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, stay safe, and practice, practice, practice. Bye.